Matt the Mortgage Guy, shooting a quick video. I can't help but laugh. 2021 market crash, it's coming. Real estate is gonna fall off a cliff. The world is ending. I've seen so much 2021 real estate crash malarkey that I can't help but make this video, poking a little bit of fun, and maybe at the end of 2021 or during 2021 when the market crashes, I'll be the one that everyone's laughing at. I don't think that's gonna happen, but in this video, I'll get into why I think a 2021 crash is highly unlikely. Stick with me till the end. I promise you, I'm gonna give you straightforward, honest advice from somebody who's in this market all day, every day. So before we get started, touch the like button. There it is, beep. Helps the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna just, in this video, talk about my opinion. I was laughing a little bit when we started because I want you to do something. This is something that's gonna help you understand when you watch at the end of 2020 or even the beginning of 2021, all these videos, 2021 real estate crash, markets crashing, housing crash. Do this, go to Google and type in 2019 housing crash, 2018 housing crash, 2017 housing crash, 2016 housing crash. And then rewind back to 2016 and tell me if you told yourself it's gonna crash in 16 so you didn't buy, and then in 17 you didn't buy, and in 18 you didn't buy, and you waited 5 years from 16 to 21 to buy a house, how are you feeling in 2021 about that decision? Because some quackadoo made some stuff on the interwebs and talked about a real estate crash. One thing I will say is the latest and greatest thing these real estate, what do you call it? Protagonists? No. Prognosticators? That means they're like thinking about the future or something? I don't know. I'm math. I'm not into that English stuff. They are using forbearance as this is the root of it. This is what's gonna cause it in 2021. The only problem with that is if you look at the data, I don't have it in front of me and I apologize. I should have all this data in front of me. My buddy down south who's a mortgage broker had some really good graphics on this. It's something like 91% of people in forbearance have at least 15% equity. So the people that are in forbearance, one, have a lot of equity. Even if the housing market corrects by 15 or 20%, they're not just gonna walk away from their house. They've got too much equity to do that. I mean, there's a humongous portion of them that have like 50% equity. They would never let their house foreclose. And yet you're counting them in this 3.6 million people in forbearance and they're gonna foreclose and all these foreclosures are gonna hit the market and the house is gonna crash. Not gonna happen when somebody's got 50% equity. Another thing to consider is of the people who have left forbearance, humongous portion of them have paid their loans off, which means a refinance most of the time. They've sold their house or they're performing. Performing means paying again. And so all that, and then somebody like me who's in mortgage, who sees it and talks to people, I have, not inside information, but I talk to enough consumers. 1/3 of the people in forbearance don't even need it. They took it as a precaution. And I've got plenty of people, and agree with it or not, and I won't even say whether I agree with it or not, said, hey Matt, I didn't know it was gonna happen. So I took forbearance just in case. There's investors that have 24 properties and they're all in forbearance. They went and took forbearance on all of them and said, Matt, if something bad happens and none of my tenants can pay, I don't wanna have 24 mortgages. So they put them all in forbearance. Well, all the tenants are paying, or 90% of them are paying. So now they've got an extra 60,000 in reserves after 3 months or 6 months. Maybe they extend to a year. A big percentage of people in forbearance are not having issues paying. They took forbearance because forbearance was very easy to take. It was click a button. I mean, I log in to pay my mortgages and it's basically, are you having issues? Click here, and then it's like COVID-19 forbearance, press here. So no doubt people are struggling, I understand that, but this mass foreclosure that's coming, at least people are banking on that for this 2021 market crash, I just don't see it. I understand people are losing their jobs. I understand that there's a lot of sectors like the restaurant business, like travel, that are really suffering. But it's not going to be so catastrophic that half of the people aren't going to be able to pay their mortgages. And in the cases like I talked about where people have a ton of equity, they're going to find a way to pay. They're going to do something. They're going to take some part-time job. They're going to negotiate. You know, they've already said, the mortgage companies and the servicers have said that when exiting forbearance, one of the options is going to be some sort of modification. So there's going to be some people that modify. There's going to be some people that just are back to work and can pay. There's going to be some people that sell their house. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. The percentage of people that actually foreclose is going to be relatively small. And let's take something else into consideration. When 1 million people foreclose in a market that's got so much demand, like the one we have right now, that doesn't cause a change in pricing. Maybe instead of 10% appreciation, we see 6 next year. Maybe instead of 10% appreciation, we see 4%. Or God forbid we see a flattening and no appreciation. That is far cry from a huge dip. 20%, 30% correction. I just don't see it happening. I mean, I'm willing to bet an ice cream sandwich if somebody wants to bet an ice cream sandwich. Like a Neapolitan one or something. I don't know. I'll leave you with this. I've always been open-minded. I saw all the stuff that created the crash in 2008. I'm well aware that there was faulty loans, faulty appraisals, all kinds of stuff going on the secondary market. The powers that be that were fueling the Big Short, that was real. There's problems that exist today, and I understand our economy may have a little bit of there's going to be some issues with the economy in the next few years. Real estate crashing hard is not something I see. And I've gotten into a couple conversations. I'm super open-minded, and I realize that I can be wrong at times. But when I start getting into a back and forth conversation, I never call it an argument because I'm listening and I want to hear feedback. And people that have been telling me through YouTube comments on my channel or other channels that I'm crazy and that I'm talking how I'm talking because I'm in real estate. I want to listen and I want to learn, and there's nothing to back up why there would be a crash besides that it's really good clickbait and it drives traffic. And as you can tell, there's been people every single year predicting crash. They're going to be right one of these years. I should put out a video that says 2027 real estate crash and a 28, 29, and 30. And maybe I'll get it right. I'll put it out every year. And then you're going to have one banger where you just knocked it out of the park. You're like, see, I told y'all. All right, it's enough about that. Let's look back on this video in 2022 and be like, oh, dude, Matt, the mortgage guy might have been onto something. Or look back and be like, look at that dummy. Call me up. I'll send you a Neapolitan ice cream sandwich. Might have to send out a lot of them, but I'm willing to do that for the people. Thanks for watching.